Warning, I'm on a journey to handicap home runs in Major League Baseball. Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me. And the video quality yesterday and probably today is abysmal. And I apologize, and I almost debated turning off the video because it was so poor. We're going to roll with it today. Again, I'll be home in a week. I had this comment last night, and I want to discuss it just real quick contextually. Sergio says, I think you've been reaching for random high payout home runs ever since you hit your parlay. Please stop reaching and actually put your money where your mouth is after a while of beating around the bush. You know I'm right if this hits a nerve. And I think it did hit a nerve only because it's slightly misguided. You have to think about the process that we've had on this journey, playing a ton of straights, playing a ton of picks, and what that did to me, not only my bankroll, but also to my mentality. And, I made a shift and I decided to only play where I saw indefinite, or I guess definite value, just pure, raw, unadulterated value. And I've also focused more on promotions like the FanDuel parlay boosts and the round robins and things of that nature. So you're right. Yes, I have stopped playing a ton of plays, but that's not a lack of me putting my money where my mouth is. It's just me trying to be more selective and be more intentional about what I do play. And I talked to a friend this morning, and I was like, I have guys in my comments saying you're playing too much, slim it down, and then you have guys like Sergio saying you're not playing enough, like you're not putting your money where your mouth is. You're playing these parlays now. Everyone's gonna have their opinion. Again, what I choose to do with my money should not concern any of you. You should use this information. I've said this before. You should use this information and play what you're comfortable playing. And that's just the way it is. So we're going to roll into today. We got more plays today. We got more straights today because I do think there's more value on the slate. Again, we are down 1.3 units, which is much better than being down 9 units. And again, Sergio, and to anyone who agrees with Sergio, I have to again, play what I'm comfortable. I would much rather be down 1 unit than 9 units. So, I can't put my money where my mouth is if it means overextending. We are down 4.2 on leans, up 7 on official. And if you want to use Novig, go ahead. So we'll start with the game in Cleveland. I don't think it's as bad as yesterday. I would favor right-handed batters, but overall, there's nothing that jumped off the page at me besides maybe Jose Ramirez at 6-1. Game in Baltimore, I think the prices are overall decent for conditions that I find to be pretty mild. It doesn't look horrible out in Baltimore, and so I think you can find some value. Contreras, Mason Wynn, and Gunnar Henderson. I mean, Gunnar Henderson at 7-1 is a price that you don't see too often, and the conditions aren't bad or aren't negative. They're neutral, if anything. So, again, I think there's value out there. I'm not choosing to play anything officially, but I do think it's a game that's worth a look if you're using this as sort of a roadmap. Game in Detroit, I think the conditions are poor and the pitching is good, but the prices are nuts. And again, a lot of you are going to say, well, the prices match the conditions and the pitching, dude. Like, of course the prices are good because you just said the pitching, the poor conditions, and the pitching is good. Yes, you're right. But what I want to say is if you want to pick and choose, like I wouldn't play 6 guys in this game, but if you want to go in and look and find a matchup that you really like, I think you could do something with that. So I've given you some options. I think Jung Ho Lee, Mike Yastrzemski, Riley Green, and Gleyber Torres all are good at those prices. And Spencer Torkelson is 10-1 on DraftKings. Spencer Torkelson is 10-1 on DraftKings. You will never see that price ever again. And I don't love the matchup against Logan Webb today. It's not a good matchup, but it is interesting because I look at these prices every day to see some of the fluctuations. And a guy who's typically in the 300s and 400s to triple in value it's just something to consider. It's something to think about. A game in Philadelphia is the home of some official plays. Marcelo Zuna, 475, and Ronald Acuna, who's back from an injury, I believe hit a home run in his first 2 games back at 525 on Bet365. Ozzie Albies also has good history against Ranger Suarez. So if you are a historic guy, you like to bet based on the history of pitcher batter, look at Ozzie Albies. He has really good history here. And Brandon Marsh, 830, I think is a fine price. Game of Tampa Bay is green, our first green one of the day. It's a good spot all around. Pitching's not great. Park is good. I know we played it yesterday for our promo. 3 home runs were hit, which I think is tied the highest on the day. So I was correct in leading you to that game for the DraftKings Fake Dinger Tuesday promo. Trevor Larnach, Willie Castro, Brandon Lau, and Yandy Diaz. I will say yesterday my picks were annoying because I think Diaz and Brooks Lee both didn't start in the game, which is ridiculous, and then Lee pinch hit. So kind of an ugly lineup prediction on my end all around. So I apologize for that. But today, no official plays from this one, but I think it's a spot where you can look and find some value. So we'll talk about the Mets game. It's red. I said, let's have a conversation. The conversation is this, guys. I want this video to be something that you can use. And I think sometimes there are days when you look up here, right, and you just see yellow, 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 and you're like, what's this guy being lazy? He's on vacation. He shouldn't even make the video if he can't even do it intentionally. I was being intentional. I'm doing this the best I can. Go look at the slate. Go look at the weather. If you have Ballpark Pal, just load it up. It's 50s, it's 60s, it's wind not being helpful, it's high pressure. It's what we saw when I had my down stretch, when I was like choosing to play 40 plays a day and trying to overcome the weather. Got people in the comments, weather doesn't matter, stop paying attention to the weather. It does, right? We look at yesterday, Pete Crow Armstrong hammered one yesterday in Chicago. And like I said, I gave it red yesterday. I said conditions are bad. Everything's bad in Chicago yesterday. Pete Crow Armstrong hammered one. Home run in 29 out of 30 parks yesterday. The one he did not hit a home run in was Chicago. Weather does matter, right? And that's why I'm so price sensitive and trying to fit all of those pieces into the puzzle, because those things do matter regardless. And if you choose, here's the thing, if you choose to ignore weather and you just want to play, totally fine. But to say weather does not matter, those things are not, you are objectively incorrect. And I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm just trying to help you be more mindful of where you're going. Kansas City is red. Maybe Salvador Perez, maybe Vinny Pasquantino, but pitching is good. Park is bad. I know yesterday there were 3 hits, even though it was red. I was wrong there, but we're not going to be wrong twice. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Strike 3, you're out, no home runs. Game in Milwaukee, I really like Boston today, especially the left-handed batters. No pitcher has been declared for Boston, so I can't give you any leans or picks for Milwaukee. That's why it's purple. I am officially playing Wilyer Abreu at 4-1 and Abraham Toro at 7-1. I would not take Toro on FanDuel. It is italicized because I want you to be careful. This is very lineup contingent. He may not start. He may pinch hit, that kind of thing. So don't take him on a book where he may screw you because of a house rule. That is FanDuel. Game in Texas is really good, both for pitching and for Park. Bowden Francis is on the mound for Toronto, 15 home runs allowed in 10 starts. Nathan Eovaldi is pretty solid, has been solid, 4 home runs in 10 starts this year, but Toronto has seen him quite a few times, is used to his stuff. So I think there's value because you have a name like Eovaldi, for those of you who correct my pronunciation, and you should. You should always correct my pronunciation if it's wrong. I do not get offended. I actually enjoy that. I want to be better and learn all of these names. I know most of them, but, anyway. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 650. George Springer at 8-1. I'm optimistic for this one. I think Alejandro Kirk and Bo Bichette are also priced well. Do what you will with this one, but I think you can find value. Josh Young at 550 and Marcus Semien at 630. Today feels like one of those days where I don't play some of these guys and they hit. I'm like, gosh dang it. Marcus Semien is one of those guys. I really like him at 630, and I probably should have played him. I didn't play him. It is what it is. Cubs and Rockies, same thing as yesterday. Check the weather closer to game time. Right now it looks ugly, but if weather reports can change. So if you really want to get the best bang for your buck for this one, load up a weather channel for Chicago, an hour before game time, see what the wind's doing, see what everything is up to, and then decide if you want to play it. Game in Houston, I think Altuve at 520 has good value. Hunter Brown is coming off a poor game. Hunter Brown has 10 starts, 4 home runs allowed, 3 of which were in the last game. The last game was played in Tampa Bay. Obviously, their new field, very easy to hit home runs, one of the easiest to hit home runs now because it is such a minor league, small dimensions sort of field. So I'm kind of scratching that or putting an asterisk by it. So really, you have a guy who has 9 starts and 1 home run allowed if we take out that sort of outlier in park and conditions and what have you. So I don't like the A's matchups today, and I do like Houston's matchup, but a lot of the prices are reflective of JP Sears and his poor performance this year. So Altuve at 520 is official play. Game in LA I really like. I think it's very playable. I think there's a lot of guys who could hit, a lot of value. So Volpe at 750, DJ LeMahieu at 10 to 1, and Taylor Ward at 540 or 550, sorry. The game in Arizona. Arizona looks really good in their matchup today. I think Arizona as a team might hit 3 alone. Josh Naylor, Pavin Smith, both good numbers there on FanDuel, 567 to 1. It is Tuesday. It is Dinger Tuesday, and you know if you're an OG Green Means Go Dinger Tuesday stan, you know Josh Naylor on Tuesday is a cheat code, is a hack. So if you are superstitious and you like to play things that don't actually matter or can be calculated or analyzed, and you like the narrative play, Josh Naylor on Tuesday is where you need to put your money. Perdomo also not a bad spot at 11 to 1 on DraftKings, I believe. O'Neal Cruz at 5 to 1. It is against Corbin Burns, but I like the matchup and I like the price there. Again, I don't think you can go wrong with an Arizona bat in this one. I think they should hit 3 as a team. Game in Seattle, no whispers, no leans, no speaking to me was this game. Skip all around. Game in San Diego, I don't hate it, as you can see. Jake Cronenworth, Gavin Sheets are official plays, 9 to 1, 8 to 1, respectively. And then Liam Hicks, 18 to 1, guy who has 4 home runs this season in like 88 plate appearances. Doesn't always start. He's a catcher. Sometimes they go with their other catcher. So that's why it's italicized, like Abraham Toro. Please be careful. Do not play it on FanDuel. If you can get it down on DraftKings, do it there, 18 to 1. So that's what we like for that game. Here are the official plays. Ozuna, Acuna, Abreu, Toro, Guerrero, Springs, Hicks, Cronenworth, and Sheets. And then my Dinger Tuesday boost, my 50% Dinger Tuesday profit boost, I'm going to do a parlay of Anthony Volpe and Jose Altuve. And we're going to run these as our plays today. The only thing that I'm sitting here kind of going back and forth on and saying I'm going to regret this would probably be someone from Arizona, a Naylor, a Smith, a Perdomo, a Marcus Semien. It's kind of sitting there like, oh, should I play Marcus Semien straight? 630 is a good price. And that's about it. That's about it. So Semien and then some Arizona bats would be where I'm like, should I have played him? Should I have played him? Will I have regrets? Will I have regrets? So do with that what you will. We'll find out tomorrow. We'll see. I'm going to go have some coffee. It doesn't sound like I need coffee, does it? Blah, 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 blah. Thank you guys. Appreciate you as always for coming by. I promise regularly scheduled programming when I get back home. But again, thank you guys so much, and we will see you. We'll see you tomorrow. Let me figure out how to end this video.